A few puff cheeks on the Eastbourne bench there, Darren, next to us. Can understand why, 'cause it's been a real battle for them this evening, and I think the way that they've attacked it eventually and produced as the referees managed to go down. There you go, there's a highlight for the evening.
Yes.
That sums up the annoyance from a Stones perspective. That's probably going to be the highlight, along with my throw-in. Says it all.
Yeah, Joe Wright there as the referee
Full time.
blows the final whistle, and that is it. The score is Eastbourne Borough 1, Maidstone United 0 on a night that was more attritional than I thought it was going to be. Certainly
Yes.
the first half ended 0-0 and the game really hadn't got going. Both sides were trying to attack. The game turned on a couple of incidents in the second half, didn't it, Sean, really?
It did, Darren. It was mainly Alexander's goal that got things going as well. Just, misplaced moment by Tate Trusty, who played ever so well, having to move to centre-back in the second half after Fowler got subbed off. And then, Alexander just slotting it in at the near post of Alexis Andre Jr. only several minutes later. And it's Rafe Brown who's found himself sent off for a challenge. Didn't seem to be too airborne. We look forward to seeing the highlights to see how accurate a decision that was from Ayrton Hersey. But within 3 minutes, of course, it was Courtney Clark got himself sent off for a second yellow card only 3 minutes later. From then, really, Darren, the Stones did. They huffed and puffed, but I wouldn't exactly say that they caught anything alight, blew any houses down. They tried, but it probably wasn't at the level that we've seen of some Alamo attempts from the Stones when they have been behind in games, and that probably showed the confidence that Eastbourne have had. They've had a lot of clean sheets here as well. I know they had 5 of 6 clean sheets and a bunch of 0-0s pretty much the games after we'd beat them at our place. So they're level just about out-peaked ours for that brief moment for the winning goal, and they've seen the match out to aplomb with a lot of stoppage time as well, to be fair to them, because it was almost 10 minutes played, so they've done an excellent number on the Stones to make sure that they finish on top. They'll be very disappointed, the Stones. A lot of chances, both sides had a lot of chances, a lot of flank play from both sides. Stones just a lot of dead ball stuff basically as soon as they went behind, flinging everything in towards the box, trying to get heads on it, just giving away too many needless fouls and not getting decent contacts on everything. And during the game I'm saying that it's probably 0-0's a fair result, a draw's a fair result. I think the way Alexander's taken his goal, their number 9 is just slightly outperformed our number 9 in the chances that they've had. And only half chances for the majority. It was literally the only chance of a one-on-one the entire evening for both sides. And Alexander, a man who's absolutely red hot with 6 in the last 2, he's managed to add just 1. And that one goal is probably going to be more special than either of the last 2 hat-tricks he scored, because the first one got 3 points, the second one got 1. That one has got an almighty massive 3 points for Eastbourne, because it's taken them off Maidstone as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, just to quickly comment on Mr. Hersey's performance, I don't think he got very much wrong. I will be very interested to see that red card, because I think that was overly harsh from where I was. Certainly my feeling. I don't think Mr. Hersey would have been necessarily stoked up by the fact that Eastbourne went potty at it.
I think it's one of those things in the moment I was looking at and trying to look for an excuse to try and give a reason for that to happen. It may well be from the other views that we get from Mr. Gooch, NLTV, Stones TV over on the far side from us, that Brown may well have gone in a bit high, may have made contact with his ankle. The angle we've got from behind him, it didn't look like he was too far off the ground. If he's not made contact with the ball, there is a world that you're thinking, it's probably a rightful red card, but certainly a yellow from what we could see from the angle. We've got a massive respect board in the way of the challenge. There's a good dozen or so Eastbourne and referee officials, etc., in our way as well. I've got to say, a lot of people can sometimes say that George didn't attack the game necessarily. Is one criticism that sometimes puts against him. Looking at the timing of the substitutions, Shaq Polk and Wanjar Smith both came on about 5-10 minutes before the goal went in, to be fair. So the intent was there, and the wish to win the game. Looking at the bench as well, it's only Bivesh from a defensive perspective, and Tate Trusty's had to move in because of Fowler's withdrawal. Fowler being missing, that might be, I wouldn't say the reason, but that might be a large contributory factor to that Stones back line not being able to deal with Alexander in the second half for just one moment. That's all it takes.
Well, that's all it takes for a player like Alexander.
Yep.
Just one moment. I mean, we've had them, many times. Lots of players over the years. There have been times when John Bartley did very little. Sorry, that's a very old name, but he'd do very little in a game. But all of a sudden, you'd see the Stones 2-0, Bartley 2. It happened regularly, and Alexander is that sort of player.
He is a top quality forward, and he was at Chelmsford last season and they were there or thereabouts for the most part until they fell to Braintree, and you do wonder a striker like him getting himself into form near the last third of the season and thinking Eastbourne were in second at the start of proceedings this evening. They're clearly going to stay there tonight after winning and staying there, I believe.
If he continues with that run, then you couldn't expect Eastbourne to be anywhere other than the top few. But lots for George to think about. Lots of games coming up.
Yes.
So, here we go. We've still got Dorking to play at home. There are plenty of other opportunities to get points over, and plenty of other opportunities to just get points off of other teams. I think a disappointing result for the Stones. A performance that could have been better, but not really. Sort of, you've got to come and you've got to challenge on tough evenings like this, and to be fair, I think we did. Just we weren't quite up to it at the on the night.
Yeah, just not that killer instinct in front of goal. Leahy having some good connections with Blair, and obviously having Shaq Polk involved as well, trying to make a contribution. Manager Smith coming on as well. Coulthurst as well had that header right near the end as well, right down Wright's throat. Which
we would have been talking completely differently if that hadn't have just gone straight. I mean, let's put it this way: Wright would have had to have dived out of the way.
Would have been very helpful if he had done. The table as it stands, then Tunbridge are 8 points away from it all, 9 points really. Western on 58 in 8th, Maidstone 59 7th, Torquay 60 in 6th, Truro 61 in 5th, Worthing 62 in 4th, Borehamwood in 3rd on 64, Eastbourne 65 points. They've played a game more, but only a point behind Dorking. So there's 8 points between the top 8, and it's getting tighter still, but Worthing with those games in hand potentially, but I mean if they carry on like they did tonight, losing them, then it might not help them very much.
No, it won't.
Well, Fred and Alex will be on the mic for the Salisbury home return game this Saturday coming. Nigel and I will have a preview video and podcast for you before that as ever. From myself and Darren, thanks for your company again tonight. Unless you've got anything else you want to add.
Not really.
Welcome to. No? Well, let's get home then. As always.
Come on, you Stones.
Good night.